Hello everyone, myself Gaurav Norman, Assistant Professor of EC Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Welcome to the session of Radar and Navigational Aids. So in the last session we have finished unit number 4. So today we are going to start unit number 5, that is Tracking and Imaging Radar. So in this session what we are going to do is, we are first studying the operating principle, that why we are going to track the radar, then how the single target is going to be tracked, how we are going to detect and track the target automatically, what are different tracking radars, what are the different techniques of target detection, examples of monopulse radar system. Likewise. So first of all, what are different radar function? So we can say that the normally radar is used to give the range. Second, the velocity with the help of Doppler frequency shift. Third, azimuth and the elevation angle. Now what do you mean by azimuth and elevation angle? Azimuth stands for the horizontal angle and the elevation stands for the vertical angle, okay, from the antenna point angle. Now the signature analysis and the inverse scattering. So it is able to detect the size of the target with the help of what is the magnitude of my return signal, or we can say the echo signal. Second, what is shape of the target and what are the components? So it is also a function of echo signal as a function of direction. Third, whether my target is moving or not. So with the help of that modulation of return signal, we are able to find out that whether my target is moving or the stationary. And the fourth, the material composition. Now what is slant range? So slant range is the distance to the target. We can say that whether, consider my radar is at the O position, okay, the target is at the P position. So if I need to calculate the how far my target is there, so based on the range, or we can say the distance between the target and the radar in the slant direction is called the slant range. Alright. So my target is continuously moving. For that, my antenna must be rotating. In which direction? In azimuth as well as in the horizontal direction. Alright. Then and only then we are able to find out the slant range, that is the distance to the target BP. Alright. Now, as I have told you, the azimuth angle. So what is the azimuth angle? Azimuth angle is the horizontal angle. So it is going to be measured with respect to, consider that my antenna is, radar antenna is at the O position and the target is in the space. So if I need to calculate the azimuth angle, so first I need to place the vertical projection of my target. Let's say it is at the P point. Okay. So if I am going to take the vertical projection onto the surface of the earth, let's say that point is called the P1. Okay. So if I need to calculate that azimuth angle, so it is going to be reference with respect to at where my radar antenna is placed. Alright, it is going to be measured at the horizontal, right, which is true to the north direction. Alright, so the azimuth angle over here is 80, right? So it is going to be measured at like N, O and P, alright? The angle NOP. 1. Why P1? Because the P1 is the vertical projection of that my target onto the surface of the earth. Now what is the elevation angle? So as I have told you and we have studied in the satellite communication, the elevation angle is the vertical angle. Alright? So if I need to calculate the elevation angle for the radar, it is the same as like if I am going to take the vertical projection of target on the surface of the earth. So it is going to be measured with respect to the northeast plane vertically. Alright, so it is going to be measured at O, P and P1. Alright, so the angle between my original target, that is at the P point, and the vertical projection of my that target onto the surface of the earth, or you can say the northeast plane. Alright, so it is going to be measured as like O, angle O, P and P1. So that vertical angle is called the elevation angle. Alright, so this is how we are going to measure the antenna, or you can say the targets, azimuth and the elevation angle. Right? So, why we are going to track the target with the help of radar? So, what information that we can extract from the tracking radar? So, the first is it measures the coordinates and it provides the data to determine what is the target's path. Alright, so it can be done, or it can gives you the information like range, angle and the Doppler frequency. Angles are like azimuth and the elevation angle. Alright, so tracking radar is classified into two categories. The first one is the continuous tracking radar and second one is track while scan. Right, we will going to study both the types one by one. Second thing, the acquisition radar, which designates a target to track the radar. Right? Now, what are the applications of tracking radar? First, we are able to track the missile that we are going to launch, or we can also provide the guidance that in which direction it needs to be traveled. That is a missile guidance. Third, instrumentation radars. And the fourth is the space application. Right? So these are the applications of tracking radar. Now, the next is single target tracking. So what does it mean? That means my radar is only able to track the single target with the help of a high data rates. How? So first, we are going to transmit the pulse, that is a 10 observation pulse per second, which is typically a closed loop servo system which is used to keep the error between the target and the what is my antenna loop direction. So that error is going to be very less with the help of a single target track. Right? Now, how this automatic detection and tracking is going to be done? So the tracking is the part of air surveillance. We can say that a transmission rate depends on the time for the antenna to make a one rotation. Right? So we can simultaneously track a large number of targets. Okay? In single target detection, we are only able to track only a single target. Alright? But with the help of automatic detection, we are able to track multiple targets at a time. So that radar used open loop system. The earlier we used closed loop system. Right? Now what is a phase array radar? If we need to track a large number of targets, then the phased array radar is used. Alright? So it is done in the time sharing basis. So it combines the rapid rate of single target tracker to hold how many multiple targets are there. So compared to single target tracker, the cost of phased array radar is very high. Apart from that, as we know that in tracking we are getting the core informations like range, Doppler frequency, azimuth angle and elevation. But what if we need to do the tracking of radar while scanning? So it is going to be done with the help of track while scan. That means it rapidly scans a limited angular sector to maintain that track with the moderate data rate. Okay, so we are able to track more than one target, but it is totally dependent on the coverage area of the antenna. Okay. Now the next topic is angle tracking. So when the target is approaching, but my radar antenna is continuously moving, so it is going to continuously track the target. So if you need to determine the direction in which my antenna beam needs to be pointed, okay, so based on that we are able to take a measurement at two different beam positions, whether my target is in this direction or this direction. So my radar antenna is continuously moving, but at a specific angle. Alright, so based on the difference between the beam position, we are able to track the target. Now, tracking radar has three different methods. So the first one is the sequential logging, conical scanning, and the simultaneous logging. That is a monopulse tracking. Alright. Monopulse means single pulse. We are going to transmit only a single pulse. Alright. Now first of all we are going to focus on the sequential logging. So what is sequential logging? Sequential logging stands for the two lobes. Lobe stands for my antenna beam. Okay, which is continuously required to track in each axis. So how we are going to transmit that lobe? Each lobe must be sequentially switched. Okay, first is going to transmit in this direction, then this, likewise. Okay, let's see. Over here my radar is there. This is the beam position X, this is beam position Y. And if we need to track that radar, trace that target with the help of this radar antenna, let's say this is my tracking axis. Okay, so with the help of this beam we are able to track how my target is far from that radar antenna. Okay, so if we need to transmit the signal, that is for the beam X and the beam Y. So first we are going to transmit the beam X, then after some time we are getting the return signal, that is a beam for beam X. Then we are going to transmit the beam Y and we need to wait for the beam return signal Y. Okay.